Hey everybody, welcome back to some more Duel replays. We are back with the girls. That's right. I've got two more live Twins Duel replays for you here. The last two that are in my replay bank. And we're able to find some really cool stuff that this deck was able to do. But before I show you the deck, I want to show you this duel from the Duelist Cup. It's pretty short, but it shows off exactly what we're getting at here today. As we've seen, the live Twins can be a really good engine for consistency and recursion, but as it turns out, they're pretty good at something else. So we're going to start here with a pretty good opening hand. We're going to Pot of Desires just because we don't have a starter per se. You'll note that we have a Sprite, and that's right, we have in our grip an Artifact Scythe. This deck is incredible at turboing out this card. Here, though, well, we don't really have what we need to make. Or actually, I think theoretically we do have what we need to make it, but let me just show you how not to play around Artifact Scythe. So they're going to Lightning Storm and Droplet, which is actually a really, really good use of resources, because if you Lightning Storm, it's on the field, but you can chain Droplet to it to send the Lightning Storm off of the field to get a 2-for-1. So now I can't respond to this Forbidden Droplet, which negates the effects of my Little Knight, with my back row. So if I've got some sort of, I don't even know like what spell card they would be thinking that I had, but if I had some sort of quick play spell card that banished my monster or negated the Forbidden Droplet, I wouldn't be able to use it. And because there's no monster on field on their side, because this is the first thing they're doing, my Little Knight can't chain to anything else. Unfortunately for them, I don't care. The Little Knight was bait. It's bait. Boop. Artifact Scythe. I believe they're running 10 since they selected going second, so they're going to max C, but we have not one, but two outs for it. Oh, we have the same out twice. Anyways, they don't have anything to do here because they can't summon from extra deck, so they're just going to go ahead and get fucked. Scythe lock, they can't special summon from extra deck. They give up. Cool. And that's what this deck is really, really good at doing. Let me go ahead and show you what we've got cooking up here with our last deck. As you can see, we have a relatively small Sprite engine in here, but one of every name is able to get us there. So I did a lot of crafting through hours and hours of hard work and theory crafting and testing and writing in my notebooks looking like an absolute mad person. I was able to come up with a 2-card combo that is a live twin, normal summon, and any extender to get us into the Scythe lock. And so we'll be able to show that off here. Other than that, it's pretty normal. I'm boarding kind of for kind of going first, kind of going second. So we've just kind of got a lot of power cards. Not a lot of flexibility, but a good amount of power. And you will see that show up in our game right here. So let's get into it. And I mean, just starting off, you'll see this on the, hopefully you'll see this on the board. We're going up against Blood Lesbian. So, I mean, already we're winning. Either we get bodied by Blood Lesbian, or the girls have the power of love and VTubers beat Blood Lesbian. I don't know. All right, anyways. Okay, opening hand. We're going to start off with Secret Password to grab Sunny Snitch. Thankfully, they don't have a draw or nothing. So we can go ahead and take Lila, pull a Frost out, use the Frost that we had in our hand as an extender. So we're going to start with Gigantic Sprite. It doesn't actually matter what we discard here for right now. But we pull out blue, we get Jet, Jet gets a spell card, and this is where the combo kicks off. Artifact Dagda, summon, then we go Sprite Starter in order to chain Dagda. And the reason is that we want to be able to use Dagda. Dagda has to be used in response to something else, so we use our starter to get another card on the field so that we can get the Scythe on our back row, and then we can go into Sprite Elf for more shenanigans. So again, the combo is Gigantic Sprite into blue to pull out Jet to pull out something else. Then you can go into Dagda, use starter to activate the chain. So it's a little, it's a little linear. If it gets interrupted, it's not so strong. But now we've got Scythe in our back row. The reason that I pulled out Carrot here, Carrot is the Sprite that allows you to you have a spell trap negate on board for sacrificing any level rank or rank 2 monster, which is super strong, and it's super important because this strategy does crumble to 1 Raigeki to start off, or 1 Lightning Storm to start off. Obviously, they know that there's a Scythe in the back row, so they're not just going to Heavy Storm or use the second effect of Lightning Storm. So being able to make sure that we are able to start chaining into popping the Scythe is really, really important. So now that we've got Sprite Carrot, we can use Elf to bring back one of our live twins, and then we just go into the live twin loop. Now, the live twins work here because they're linked 2, but we can't get to the link 4, unfortunately, because Gigantic Sprite does lock us into level, rank, and link 2s. But that's fine, because once we have the 2 live twins on field, sorry, the evil twins rather, we get the draw, and then next turn we'll be able to get the pop. And let's show you. As soon as they use a spell card, we got that. So they're going to start off with Pressured Planet Wraitsoth, so they're running a kind of Kashtira pack. Well, to us it looks like they're running a Kashtira package. They're actually not, but they're going to Called by the Grave our, and let me make sure I'm getting this right. They're going to Called by the Grave our Lila. And that's super important, because if they do that, then we can't actually get the pop on field, which means we can't actually hit Artifact Scythe and lock them out. So we're going to Sprite Elf and Kill. It doesn't really matter here. I'm just grabbing more stuff. But once the Lila hits the field, oh yeah, Sprite Elf is going to bring out blue. Called by the Grave has no target, and we are able to negate and destroy the Wraitsoth. Oh yeah. Lila gets the pop on the Scythe. Blue adds a card. Now, from here, the board does nothing, but it's also 5 bodies for them to get through with no extra deck special summons. So, not too bad, all things considered. Going first, it's probably one of the more annoying things that you can do. Going second, it really struggles, and that's kind of where I ended off. So at this point, we're in February. I've been playing this deck for like 3 months-ish, and I was finding out that, you know, going into gold, trying to get into diamond, it just wasn't consistent enough, because I could load up on my lightning storms and evenly matched and stuff like that, but that's really just hoping that you draw the non-engine that takes care of that. At this point, there are no Mulcharmies. The 3 Maxis were nice, but obviously everybody's running 3 Maxis, so it's not like you're really getting a leg up in your competition there. You do get the gradual +1 every turn on the card draw with the evil twins, but anyways, nothing crazy. If we look at our opponent's deck, they didn't really get to do anything, and that's kind of the whole point. You don't actually want your opponent to do anything. Here, they really just had whatever part of the Kashtira package that they drew. For the most part, they're actually running Vaalmonicas, Silitrice, Demano, I guess Angelo Demano, Skelta, Disharmonia, Vaalmonica, the Agatha Cacological Voice. And they got good cards in here. If you let them go off, Coral Dragon, Excel Synchro, Baron, all of the Vaalmonica stuff, Access Code to finish. So yeah, but this deck, this iteration of live twin sprites really does prevent your opponent from going off in a very, I mean, it's just in a very, very powerful way. You pop Artifact Scythe, they can't do anything, and then you've got the Gamma Burst for follow-up is like one of the big things, because if they do put some bodies on board and, you know, they say, all right, fine, I'm going to stick this out, the extra damage here actually kind of becomes really important. This is not a deck that breaks boards really well. And that's kind of what I want to talk about, and the reason why I stopped playing it so much is that it is really, really good at going first, but it does have very pronounced weaknesses. The chain is very interruptible. So actually, it's not even. It's good going. It's extremely strong going first if you get there, but it is interruptible. Imperm on the normal summon can be devastating. Can be if you don't draw the extenders. The level 2, rank 2, link 2 lock on Gigantic Sprite does mean that you can't do some other things. So as I started to branch out with this and try to experiment with other things, live twin sprite with some more sprite stuff in there, adding in maybe some bestials, adding in the Fiendsmith cards when they came in. They did enhance the power level of the deck, but anytime you're adding more locks in, it just makes it harder. You need to normal summon the Lilas to be able to get value off of them and to go into the evil twins. You can't but link climbing no longer becomes available to you when you have gone into the sprite stuff. So you really need to go into the live twin stuff and then the sprite stuff. When I added the Fiendsmith packages in, you want to use the Fiendsmith stuff to bait negates, but then you can't actually use the normal summon effect of the live twins. And if you only get if you only get Fiendsmith and sprites in your opening hand, then like they don't synergize with each other. So I never actually tried this. I never bought into the Unchained packages, but I think Live Twin Unchained Fiendsmith is probably the strongest thing that you can go for. It's a little bit more in the sort of pile deck type deal where you can just kind of start going and you know, everything, nothing prevents, none of the locks matter because they're all fiend lock and they're all fiends anyways. So but you know, I did have fun experimenting with this deck, and again, finding that you could have a 2-card combo from like just a normal summon Lila into Scythe Lock was really cool. Once they banned that card, this strategy is, you know, it no longer has a payoff. The just something that is as strong as Artifact Scythe not being there anymore is I mean, it just makes it so that this is not as strong as so much other stuff that you could be doing. There's not a whole lot you can do that's stronger than preventing your opponent from special summoning from the extra deck. So unless you know, I were to adapt this into like an El Shadow Winda type of you know, build. I don't have too much experience with shadows though. I don't know. It's definitely not as strong as some of the other stuff that I started doing later, which we will get to. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and replay this duel again without commentary, as I usually do. But let me know what you think of Live Twins. If you have built them with other archetypes maybe that I haven't considered here, or if your Live Twin-Spright builds have had a lot more success and you found ways to make them really versatile going first and going second. There are so many different builds out here, and that's kind of the big thing that this deck taught me. You can do so many different things with these cards, and anytime you're theorizing about how to build your decks, there's just so much possibility, and that's what makes Yu-Gi-Oh! Really, really cool. You can go for stun, you can go for going first, you can build for going second, you can build to try to do these crazy powerful end board plays, which, you know, the end board itself isn't crazy on for Live Twins here, but the fact that it does trigger Dagda pretty consistently when you get everything there does make it, you know, extremely powerful in that way. So, you know, different flavors, different effects, different ways to do things. And there's always room to keep building and innovating and keep trying out new stuff. So let me know what you guys think of this build. Let me know what you think of related builds, or how you would change it, or, you know, your experiences with it in the past. That's gonna be it for me for right now. Let's go to that commentary duel, or that commentary less duel. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good night, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.